Let's make this happen. Mike, I'm having a good day today, buddy. How are you?
I'm having a great Friday. Thanks for asking.
Thanks for being here. I got your other screen up, right? Here we go.
Oh,
And
yes.
good. Anything you need from that?
Yep. We're gonna cover this right now. The topic is, oh, okay, yeah. Just let me be co-host so I can share my screen.
Yeah, let me
We're going
got
to be
you.
talking
Let me
about
get you.
helping agents increase their average sale price. That's our focus for today?
That is, and breaking into a luxury market is when the underlying tone. Jazz or Young, could you please make Michael a co-host? This way he can share his screen.
Yep, we
Mike,
got it.
I know we wrote a book together with a whole bunch of other amazing people. So at any point in there, bring up the book. But in the meantime,
Well, here we
if we're
go. We're
looking,
talking about so real quick. So we wrote this book together, Secret to Top Luxury Agents. You contributed. You did a great job. We've gotten amazing feedback. It's already a bestseller in multiple categories. It's called Secrets of Top Luxury Agents, which we can talk about here in a minute. But we're talking about how to break into luxury today, right?
that's it.
And this was a slide. I don't mean to offend anybody on this slide, but this is like the evolution of a real estate agent, right, Tristan? People get their license, and then what? They might work with some renters and maybe some first-time home buyers, and then they might work with some average price point buyers, and they might get a couple years down the road, they might get a listing here or there. Well, even before the NAR and DOJ, listings is the name of the game, right? List to live. And so our focus, my goal over the last 9 years since launching the Lux designation is to help agents break into or dominate becoming the number one luxury agent in their market and increase their average sale price. And so that is literally, what this slide is all about.
I like that. I can't see the slide, man.
You can't see the slide. Oh, let me change that there. Let me, it was saying that it was on my screen, but here we go. How's this? You can see it in three, two, one.
There we go. I got
This is
you.
the evolution, Tristan, of a real estate agent, right? And so most agents work in the lower price points or average price points, which is totally fine. But what we
Mhm.
teach agents is to think a little bit differently and to go after some higher price points.
I like that, man. And you know what the interesting is? Interesting is you showed this to me last time, but I'll tell you, now that I'm looking at this, there's a really cool connection uh where from the renter piece, there's a hack from the renter all the way to the luxury agent that I've noticed. I don't know if you've noticed it, Mike. So you can start off as the renter and then skip all the way to the luxury agent through leases because in at least in our area, Malibu, a lot of these homes stay vacant for way over half of the year. And when we're mailing out to certain non-owner occupied homes or just owner occupied but empty, right? Homes, they want to know how much it would lease for. You create that relationship, and then they eventually use you to sell the home, which is kind of a cool place to start with the renter. That's why I love that, man.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And so we tell agents that there's five primary price points in large markets, right? And so we're talking about breaking into luxury today, but how do you define luxury? Every brokerage is different how they define luxury. And I could ask, 100 different agents define luxury, and everybody would define it differently. And so
True.
when we launched our course 8.5 years ago, Lux or Luxury Specials, we came up with this graphic. I call it buckets. And it starts with bucket number two. Every market has an average price point sale, right? And so what is that average price point or what's the average sale price? Well, you can talk to your real estate board, your MLS or a title company to get that. And below that would be bucket one or starter or entry level. And then we define a high-end home as bucket three. Bucket three, a high-end home, Tristan, is a home that's two times the average sale price. A luxury home, how do you define luxury, is bucket four. A luxury home, we define it as three times the average sale price. Literally, there's large brokerages out there, you know, that have redefined how you define luxury based on, our graph here. And then ultra luxury is we define ultra luxury homes as 10 times the average sale price. So I wanted to cover that with you and your audience right off the start.
I like that, man. I think it is very confusing actually because we go all around the United States and we say, well, where does luxury start, right? And it's
Right.
very
Some
different.
some some people say, oh, it's top 10% in your market, or like most people don't even know how to figure out top 10%, right? And some people, some brokerages define it as $1 million and above. Well, in Malibu, that's not going to get you luxury, right? So it's all relative.
That's very true. All right, so now we're looking at luxury, defining it then as the upper price point in your respective market, right? Something like that. And I think in every market, people know what luxury looks like. If you're in real estate, you're like, oh yeah, that's the luxury. How do we break into that? Where would we start, Michael?
Yeah. So for the first place that you would start, I would say, is there's three major components to being successful in luxury. And the first one is your foundation. Your foundation is your mindset. What are you feeding yourself mentally, right? If you hang out with nine dead broke people, you're bound to be the 10th. I say garbage in, most people say garbage out, right? Garbage in,
Yeah.
most people say garbage out. I believe garbage in, garbage stays because negativity, toxicity, you'll start to think that way. So positive in, positive stays. So there's a lot of misconceptions, Tristan, about breaking into luxury. And many
Hmm.
people think you got to be a top producing agent or a veteran agent or have a lot of gray hairs to sell luxury. You need to come from money to sell in those price points. You need to live in that big gated community or that big home to sell luxury or drive that certain car or be with a certain brokerage. Or the worst one yet is I can't compete in this market because there's already blank number of luxury agents or man, you know, uh, whoever it might be owns the market. That's not true. And so there's so many misconceptions out there. And I wanted to address that as well because there's many agents think you got to, you have to come from that background and you don't. Does it help? Sure, it helps, but you don't have to. And so I believe that there's two forms of marketing, Tristan. There's warm marketing and cold marketing. Warm marketing is your sphere, your database, your have-mets, people that know you, like you, and trust you. Okay, those are your have-mets. But when breaking into luxury, if somebody hasn't sold luxury before and maybe their friends don't have a lot of money, how do you break into luxury, right? It's
Yeah.
real easy if you live in Malibu and you're at a country club and there's other, but what if you're not from that market, but you want to break into that market? Well, you got to go to where the money is. And so the first thing I would do is I would join a chamber of commerce that services those markets, build relationships with business owners
Mm.
that have those clients, right? People coming in to the clothing store, people coming in to test drive those cars, people that golf at those golf courses. They have the money, so build relationships with people that have those types of buyers potentially and sellers as clients. So join a chamber of commerce, build relationships. Many times I'll say the best way to get a referral, and people say ask. Well, that's true, but I believe you have to earn the right for a referral. And how do you earn that right? You got to do what you say you're going to do, and you got to be likable, right? People want to do business with someone they like and they trust.
You know what? I'm going to pause you on that one, Michael, because I think a lot of people that are trying to break into luxury don't understand that piece, and it becomes more apparent when you start working in the luxury world that that single piece, relationships, you being likable, you being able to connect with somebody, is probably the most important piece above everything else you can do. And uh, it creates a sense of trust because they keep on either seeing you, they keep talking to you, they like you, they want to work with you. They're really only looking for, right? They're looking for someone that when they work with them, they don't have to worry about what's going to happen. And that's all part of this relationship-based business. I find that with high net worth individuals that just becomes more the case. It's all relationships, all of it. which is
Well,
interesting.
there's a quote from Daniel S. Kamen, and I think I have it on here. Let me see if I do. If I have it, I'll show it to you. But it's here it is. Yep, I'm gonna pull it on the screen. This is one of my favorite quotes about becoming likable. And not just becoming likable, but if you are likable. So it's people would rather do business with someone they like and they trust rather than someone they don't, even if that likable person is offering a lower quality product and service at a higher price. So part of what we teach
Mm,
with our books and our trainings is be likable and offer a higher quality product and service, right? And that's a win-win. You do both,
that's true.
right? So the first step is become authentic and be likable, be a great listener. Don't be pushy, don't be a person. We all know that agent that that asks questions or they don't ask questions. They just talk about themselves. Or if they ask a question, they don't even listen for the answer. They're already responding, right? So just be a
Mhm.
good listener is is number one. And this next slide I want to share with you is I believe the fastest way, Tristan, to get instant credibility as an agent from your database, your sphere, people that know you, like you, and trust you, people you don't even know that well, but maybe your kids on the same ball team as them, is you get that high end sale. Now, it's easier to leverage a listing than it is the buy side, right? And we know
Mhm.
with the changes coming on, that's still the case. So listings, you can leverage them more, right? You can leverage them because at every showing, you could post about it, you can do video, you could showcase unique features of the home, you can do print marketing. You don't need permission as a marketing agent to represent the seller. If I represented a buyer at one of your listings, Tristan, it would be a little bit harder for me to leverage the buyer as it is the seller because I'd have to get the permission to take photos and video and post on it
Mhm.
and everything else. So list to live. You want to focus on listings. You can't be shy in this industry. So I believe the fastest way to get instant credibility is you get that big trophy property.
Okay, so how do we get that big trophy property?
I'm glad you asked that. It was almost like a layup. Okay.
Hmm.
So you get it a few ways. So the first thing that I would do is you got to grow your knowledge. I tell agents all the time, grow your knowledge and your confidence will grow. So every market's a little bit different. Some markets have what they call caravans or broker tours. I was in Scottsdale recently. He's in the book too, it's chapter 3. Frank Azami, he helps chair the luxury home tour in Scottsdale. They literally have an organization that meets twice a month. You pay a little annual fee, or you could be a guest and pay $10, and they bring in speakers and then they hand out brochures with, hey, here are the three, here are the five properties we're going to tour today that are on the market. And they give a red light or a green light. Red light means you can't do photos or video. Green light means you can. And so the first thing I would recommend to the viewers is go to other agents' broker open houses during the week, ask questions, gain confidence, and then at some point, sooner than later, contact them ahead of time. Hey, Tristan, I see you have a broker open house on Monday over at 123 Malibu Way. I'm planning on attending. Would you mind if I took some photos and videos as long as I give you credit as being the listing agent? I'd like to post about it ahead of time saying, hey, I'm going to go check this property out. It's absolutely amazing. Here's the link for the property. If you would like to see it, contact me. I could set up a private showing.
I like, dude, I always tell people the fastest way to jump into this world is by immersing yourself in it through broker opens. And if there are no broker opens, there are open houses and go to those on the weekend. I prefer the broker opens because then you can connect deeply with the agents and then you get to know the community. And then the agent will tell you all about the home and the community. And then they get to know you and then you get to shoot footage. Like you said, if you've got the green light, right? And if not, you get to shoot footage on the community. Dude, there's so much you can do with that to break
There's so
into
much you can do
areas.
with it. So here are some other things you can do with cold opportunities. Cold, the opposite of warm is cold, right? So you got canceled, expireds. So there's cold and then there's warm, right? There's cold and warm. But the first thing I would probably recommend, like you just said, Tristan, is I would go to other agents' broker open houses. Then the next step would be every state's different with what I'm about to say, is I would call an agent within your office that represents them that has some high-end homes and offer to do a public open house. So in other words, if Tristan, we're in the same office now, again, in certain states, you don't even have to be in the same office. Like I'm going to Tennessee to teach my luxury designation training next week in Nashville. And in Nashville, I had a guy that an intern for me in Chicago a few years ago. He was a brand new agent, moved to Nashville, and he would host open houses every weekend. And he was with EXP, but he didn't have to be with EXP. He could, in Tennessee, you could be with. He could host an open house with at a Sotheby listing, the agency. Doesn't matter in some states. Check with your broker. Check with your broker owner. In Illinois, you cannot do that. They can only be with your same brokerage. I'm based in Illinois. But
Mhm.
if you and I were in the same brokerage, Tristan, and I called you and you had an amazing listing, ring ring.
Hello?
Hey, Tristan, it's Mike from the office. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Mike? What's up?
Good. Hey, I hope to see you at the summer cookout this year, but it's been a while, and I know you probably don't know me that well, but man, you're doing some amazing things at the office, and you got this really cool listing at 123 Malibu Way, and I just wanted to see if you'd be open to. But first off, I'm a big believer in win-win, so I want to uh, throw something off you and see what your thoughts are. But again, I only want to do it if it's a win-win for you and your clients. But it looks
Mhm.
like that home at 123 Malibu's been listed for some time. So I don't know what kind of activity you're getting, if the seller's on you about doing something different or creative, but I know you're a family guy and you got a beautiful family. And I don't know if you like doing open houses on weekends, but man, I'd love to host an open house at your listing on Malibu Way. I thought I'd start with you before I give Jesse a call. He's got a cool listing couple as well. But I'd love to host an open house at your listing over there in Malibu Way. And I want, as I mentioned, I want to make it a win-win. So I'll pre-market it. I'll put the signs out. I'll do all the legwork. If you want to show me the property ahead of time and point out some things, that would be amazing. But if not, no big deal. And I'll get there plenty of time early. And as I mentioned, I want to make this a win-win for you, Tristan. So maybe on the first one we do it, I'd be I'd be willing to give you a referral fee for any buyers that come in unrepresented that end up either putting
Mm.
an offer on this one, or heck, down the road, if they put an offer 3 months, 6 months, 9 months down the road. Tristan, I have some buyers that we've worked with for 9 months, and I'd be willing to give you a referral fee on those as well, trying to make it no-brainerish. But again, I want to make it a win-win. Even if we don't get a ton of activity, you're going to get more clicks and likes when you host an open house on those third-party websites. You'll get more views and eyeball traffic than
Yeah.
similar homes that aren't doing an open house. So again, even if there's a dud and hardly any people come through, it's still a win-win for the seller.
I love the idea. Let's work something out. I've got one for you. Dude, I would totally do
Perfect.
that. I would totally do that, Mike. That sounds like a great script, especially the added piece, because sometimes that's what it takes. The
Right. Like
25%.
I don't like giving out referral fees if I don't have to, but
Yeah.
75% of something is a whole lot better than
Well,
100% of nothing.
forget that piece for a second. I think breaking into luxury is more important than never being able to have the opportunity. And at the cost of 25% of something that you would never have, like you said, to me, I would do that over and over and over and over until I broke in,
Yeah.
hands down.
Yeah. And you'll stub your toes. But you'll gain confidence. You'll grow your knowledge, and your confidence will grow. You give me somebody that's confident, then they're naive. They don't care about no's, or they don't know any better, right?
No,
Fear.
very true.
So many agents are worried about fear. Okay. They're either worried about fear, or they're looking for the easy button. But regardless, at the end of the day, it's all about growing your knowledge. You'll be more confident. That's step one. Step two is, okay, what are you going to do to get these opportunities? As I mentioned, open houses would probably, and chamber of commerces, and breaking in with the businesses and bringing value there. And then, you can work open houses for other people. Now, again, you might be able to work for sale by owners or canceled and expireds. In hot markets where homes are selling, you're not going to get a lot of canceled and expired, but you will see for sale by owners. I just had a call today, literally about 20 minutes ago. The
Hmm.
homeowner was a canceled and expired. It was off the market for 895,000. She said, "We're thinking about selling now, or should we sell in the spring?" I said, "It
Hmm.
really depends. If your home needs a lot of work and updates, you got one time to make a first impression. Well, then, I would love to walk through your home, but and give you that assessment. But if it needs a lot of work, well, then take care of that before you put it back on the market. But if your home is turnkey and ready to go, then I'd recommend now, because in my market, we are in a seller's market, and our job is to educate the consumer so they can make sound decisions, Tristan. So I said there's really three types of markets. There's seller markets, there's balanced or neutral markets, and there's buyer markets. And in my great town of Wheaton, Illinois, it's a seller's market. So I said, I don't have a crystal ball. What's going to be in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. I don't know what's going to happen with the election. I don't know what's going to happen with inflation. But I do know now is a great time to sell if your home is ready in turnkey condition.
Very true. Very good point. I like that. All right. So what other things can we do? Because you had a great list of those.
Yeah, so I have a great list of them. So what other things you can do? I talked about cancel and expireds. I talked
Hmm.
about working other agents open houses. Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, you can uh, some of the other things you can do is you can work on uh, your branding and your marketing. Okay. So, Tristan, you know this better than I do. People are going to Google you. They're going to Google me. They're going to look me up. People might be looking you or me up right now, and we don't even know about it. And they're considering buying or selling. And guess
Hmm.
what? They're looking us up. And, and if we don't have an online presence, if we're not optimized, if our branding isn't consistent, okay, then people are judging a book by its cover. I hate to say it, they will judge a book by its cover, even though we're taught not to. You got to look the part. You got to dress professional. Your website needs to be optimized. Your LinkedIn, your Facebook, your YouTube.
Hmm.
So they are judging you. Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you something. I agree with you on that. One thing that we just started doing in Malibu, I just started maybe a month ago, just to test it out to see how this would all roll down. I'm going to show you actually. I'm going to plug in
Please.
my phone. We started a we started a brand new channel because you're talking about branding and you're talking about social media, as that's probably the one of the fastest ways, if done well, to be able to break into an area. And I'm going to show everyone here to give you some ideas, right? I'm gonna share my phone. Let me see if you're able to see it. Can you see my phone
I can,
there?
yes.
Okay, so this is my other TikTok channel. We got 35,000 followers on that one. Let me go to the one I just created called Malibu Moods. Okay. And this one's brand new. In fact, it's growing really fast now. One thing that we decided to do is look at right under where it says edit profile or share profile, it says Malibu. That's it.
Yes.
The whole channel is just about Malibu. That means I'm going to take you through the community, whether it's me telling you where to eat. Look at the one for 31,000. I just posted that yesterday at night. Look at the one for 16,000. That's a broker open we went to, not even my house, right? You
Wow.
go through that. This $27 million home. So I'm going to pause that. A lot of comments going
You got
back
the
and
Huck
forth.
to a girl on there. I'm not even going to go down that route.
Yeah, there you go. The point is we're creating a brand under a different name, Malibu Moods, all about Malibu, and we're already getting locals asking questions, right? So, along the lines of what you're talking about, which is brand recognition, is what you're putting out there, who you want to be in the eyes of who you're trying to target. And for us, that's what we want. We want to
Yeah,
be known for everything Malibu.
I think that's brilliant. I'll type it in here, but there's a term called repetitive engagement. Repetitive engagement. that I use a lot in my trainings, repetitive engagement. Basically, when someone is buying or selling a home in your market, Tristan, it's solely your responsibility that you're top of mind awareness. You can't make assumptions. They bought with me before, they sold with me before, right?
Mm.
Repetitive engagement. So you're omnipresent. You're all over the place. They're driving down the road, they see your sign. They're in the local grocery store, they see your lane divider. They're whatever it means. You're doing printed, just listed, just sold. There's so many things you can do to be present, right? And repetitive engagement is the key, right? Repetitive. Now they might not hire you, but at least you're in the discussion. Okay. I just got two listings in the last few weeks, and they were talking to another agent. And uh, at the end of the day, the fact that they interviewed me, what got it is they basically said, man, we see you all over the town. It seems like you're everywhere, right? And they wanted a marketer, not a listing agent. There's a difference. Listing
Mm.
agent throws it on the computers. A marketing agent is creative. They're outside the box. Their juices are always flowing on creativity and what to highlight, what to
Mm.
downplay, right?
True.
And that's the problem with our industry, Tristan, is people coming out of real estate school, they teach you how to pass a test. They tell you how many square feet are in an acre, but they don't teach you how to market a home.
The challenge with that, Mike, you're right on, is that we keep on hearing crap like rip off and duplicate instead of being inspired to improve, right? Like when you and I look at things, I'm like, oh, that's cool, but it's been done before, right? What can we do? This is great. I love it. What can we do to make it better, to make it ours, to then think forward instead of being stuck with the same
Yeah,
thing that everyone else is doing? That's the danger with rip off and duplicate. So you said it. That's exactly it, man. Very
yeah,
key to this.
yeah.
I like that. Now,
So
what about, I have one question for you about breaking in. Mailers. Have you ever done mailers? Or do you have coaching clients that have done amazing with them, or
yeah,
where do you think?
mailers will work with canceled and expired. So, like literally on my screen right now, this is a silver platter. I used to send a silver platter in the mail to canceled and expireds, and I'd send bank bags and shredded money and aspirin. I had a blast with it because this is important. You got to ask yourself, what is a sale worth to me, and what will I cheerfully invest to get a new client? So let's just keep it really simple. Okay. Let's just say for an agent watching this, their average their average sale last year with and what they took home after the brokerage got paid was $7,000. Well, then
Mhm.
the average sale would be 7,000. Okay. And so I would invest in mailers. This mailer would be a $4 mailer with the silver platter and the postage and everything else. And that's $4. Well, okay, well, how many do I have to send out to break even? In other words, 7 grand, if that's your average sale price, call it a $300,000 home. How many of these do I need to send out? Worst case scenario to break even. Do I think I'm going to get one $300,000 listing by sending out 100 of these? Well, again, 100 of these times whatever, $4, that's $400. So, what did I include in the note, Angela? Great question. So you always want to have a good hook or a good headline. So the headline is basically was still serving you a higher serving price, all on a silver platter. I think I have it right here. Yes, this is it right
Now you got them going,
here.
Angela.
This,
He's got some good stuff.
this is it here. This is my mailer. It was a nice mailer that was double sided. It had, some case studies on it, but it was serving you a higher selling price, VIP service, and expedited sale on the silver platter. Okay. Opportunities like this do not serve themselves on the silver platter every day. I'm going to give you a chance to have my proprietary marketing methods used to sell your home to make more money in less time. If you are still considering selling, continue on. And then basically that was the mailer right there. But bottom line is to keep it simple. Guys, number one is you got to believe you can sell it. Number two, you got to diversify your portfolio. If you won the mega lotto, your financial advisor would say, have some low risk, some high risk, some short term, some long term. Many agents focus in buckets 2 and 3. If you remember, I talked about the buckets, right? Most agents focus in these buckets on the screen right here, Tristan. All I would recommend to you is you guys should diversify your portfolio. If you are selling in buckets 1 and 2, add some high-end and luxury. And we know
Mhm.
that going into some high-end and luxury, you can do some canceled, you can do some expired, you can work other people's open houses, you can join a
Mhm.
chamber of commerce. And I want to give something away for free to all your audience. Is that okay, Tristan?
Yeah, please do that, dude. And then we'll go to Loretta's question.
Okay. So, Tristan, as you know, the book that you co-authored is on sale for $30. I want to give everybody the book for absolutely free. If they go to freeluxurybook.com, they can go to Amazon, they can go to Barnes and Noble, they can pay
Mhm.
$30 plus shipping and handling. But if they go to freeluxurybook.com, they will get the book absolutely free. They just pay the shipping and handling, $9.97. This book hit bestseller in 6 categories. Again, it's gold. It's 300 pages of pure gold. I want to give it to you free. Just pay the shipping and handling. And there's so many nuggets in that book, Tristan. We asked 26 co-authors, tell us about your first luxury sale. How did they
Mhm.
find out about you? And vice versa. Then we gave them 6 other questions. So every chapter has got 7 questions plus the bonus section, which are consumer beneficial tips. We have 118 benefits to buyers. What should they look for in a buyer's agent? And we have 212 tips for someone selling a home. So again, they can get the book for free. Go to freeluxurybook.com.
Angela says, Michael giving us Christmas in July. I love it.
Christmas in July. Thank you. Somebody
Listen,
else had a question.
I'm already playing Christmas music. So, Loretta, what is your opinion, Michael, of real marketing farming system to a
Oh, I know
luxury
those
neighborhood?
guys. They're great. They have real marketing. They provide great print collateral. It's perfect for farming.
Okay.
That's a slow play, Loretta, but I believe in it. Okay. So Tristan, basically, it's a market housing report that is sent to your farm, and it's high class, it's first class, it looks nice, and there's data. Okay. So Loretta, if you do farming, I recommend real marketing farming for sure. It's a slow play. You're not going to get instant sales, but again, your marketing should be diversified. You should have some of your marketing for branding and slow play, and then have some marketing that's more for quick play, your database, your sphere. Okay. So, um, yes, Loretta, we met. I remember blonde hair. I believe you were with Remax at the time. I remember you. So, so yes, great. I'm glad that you're on here. So I do believe in some slow play and some fast play. Okay. But in the end, you got to love on your database and your sphere. Okay. You got to love on them. You can't neglect them. Many real estate agents have shiny object syndrome. Goldfish have longer attention spans than human beings today. Okay. So you got to know that you got to touch on your database consistently.
I love that, man. All right. I think we should probably make a series out of this in Lab Coat Agents because,
Oh, I can
uh,
go on forever. We could do
yeah,
so many series on this, and we could.
I think so. We did breaking into luxury. What would be next if we wanted to expand on this?
I
What
mean,
would be
I'm
a
all about.
good, would be a
I'm
good
breaking
part two?
into is one thing. Increasing your average sale price. Becoming the number one trusted luxury agent in your market. It really depends. You got two audiences here. You have the breaking into people, and you have the hey, I'm already selling it. I want to dominate even more.
Okay, let's do that one because that kind of goes with what Tom said. How can I nurture them? Right. So, but breaking into it more, longer term, getting more business out of the ones that I'm already in or trying to win over. Let's do that. You want to do that?
Let's do it. I would love it.
Okay. Writing that down. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Please get the free book website. We put it up there again. Let me see if I can get it.
freeluxurybook.com.
Freeluxurybook.com.
Freeluxurybook.com. I tried to get the URL, Tristan. That's so no-brainerish that everybody would remember it. Freeluxurybook.com.
I love it. Mike, thank you for doing this. I appreciate you. Everyone else that joined, thank you. And for those that commented, thank you for participating as well. Thanks, Mike. Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody.